What's up, guys? Welcome back. Fight Talk with me, Jimmy Dukes, in an excluded location today. Palace of Lamar Harris. Matchmaker, big part of KFL, coach, owner, leader, mentor, all that good shit, man. How are you, bro?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good, man. I appreciate your time. Another sit down.
Yes, sir.
Another sit down, KFL5. You guys took a break for the end of the year. Then you guys were already kind of announcing that it was going to come up. And here we are starting off combat sports in January, KFL5. How excited are you?
Good, man. Start the year off with a bang, man. It's going to be a great card, man. We're super excited for it.
I know when I always get some of the heads up. You know, I'm fortunate that a lot of people kind of give me a heads up. You already were telling me, hey, we're working on some shit. You were telling me, and I think it was November. And, you know, end of December, you guys were already talking about it. Everything was already listed. You got some matches lined up. Just like always, man, I want to go from the top of the card and kind of talk about each fight a little bit.
Okay.
You know, I feel like it's cool and important that we start getting used to having these conversations to get people like that are just more than the casual fans, like the hardcore fans and some of the fighters get involved with the content. But yeah, man, let's go down to this card.
Cool. Got you, man.
Cool, man. So January 24th, is Shrine Almeida kind of like the home for KFL right now?
Yeah, man. We love it there, man. They're so nice over there. And it's just, they make everything so much more easier. You know, it's super stressful as it is to do an event, but they just help out a ton and just make everything easier.
Yeah, I feel like the way you guys had set it up, the first time it was there, then the second time you guys moved it a little bit, I think it's a great venue and everybody has like a good seat. You know what I mean? Having the stage up there so I could put the camera down and having the projectors there, I think it's a great setup. And I think every time we've been there or you guys had a card, I mean, it's always a good time.
Yeah. There's like, at Almeida, there's no bad seat. You know, you could be the last person to get in the building and still watch the fight.
Yeah, in the back corner, you could even...
You're like... Because the cage is elevated, I mean, there's not a bad seat in the building, so it's perfect.
I liked how you guys did it with spreading the locker rooms and where the entrances. I thought, like, I was like, hey, cool. Like, now we're utilizing the building to a little bit more and, you know, giving the fighters a little bit more room and stuff. And I like how you guys always take care of them. You know, a lot of people don't understand that it takes a lot of time, money, and effort to get an event. And you guys always make sure you guys take care of everybody. So I want to make sure I give you guys your flowers, you and Lonnie, man. Cause
man. I appreciate it.
Man.
We try our best, man. Big old locker rooms, they have a lot of room. We just want to make sure everyone's comfortable, have enough room to get warmed up properly.
Yeah, man. 10 fights.
10 fights.
2 jiu-jitsu super matches.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, man. It's cool. Like, what was the thought process of bringing in the jiu-jitsu?
Man, it's just because El Paso has, like, we got a strong jiu-jitsu community out here, you know, and who wouldn't want to go out there and do a super match in front of 700-800 people, you know, especially these young two kids, man.
Yeah.
They're great, man. They're stars, you know, and they're known in the country. So I hit some people up and I was like, hey, man, you want to go out there? And they were like, hell yeah. Like, let's go. So
that's cool, man.
Good.
So we got 2 jiu-jitsu matches, 10 MMA matches. Start from the bottom of the card. Let's get it.
Yep.
All right, cool. So we got a returning William Ortiz from Desert Dynasty, if I'm not mistaken, taking on newcomer Danny Thomas out of Grind Jiu-Jitsu. Will, his first fight, animal.
Oh, yeah, he's tough.
He is tough. He had and that was cool because they were both young guys.
Yeah,
he
17.
fought Rodzilla Jr.
Yep, he's still 17 as well.
You know what I mean? And those guys went at it. And I thought it was a good showing for William. But he's taking on Danny Thomas as a debut for Grind Jiu-Jitsu. You know, what do you think of this matchup, and how did you match this up? So
William, he unfortunately he wasn't able to fight in New Mexico because he's 17. You know, in New Mexico you have to be 18. So Anthony Hudson, his head coach, hit me up and was like, hey, we're going to put him back on KFL. You know, he's looking for vengeance and stuff. Because that first fight was super close, back and forth. Man, it was a war.
Yeah.
Everybody said that was fight of the night.
Yeah.
You know, everybody. I mean, he's not a regular 17-year-old.
Yeah. He's solid.
Yeah, he's good, man. He is good. So, and then Matt Brown from Grind, man, I mean, he hit me up. He was like, hey, I got this guy, Danny. You know, he's ready. He's been training for a little bit, and, you know, we like the matchup. I mean, Matt Brown's a star. And then you got Justin Gonzalez, which a lot of people in the city think is just the best black belt in the city, you know. So he's got the right coaches in his corner, you know. So we just felt it was a great matchup. You know, you got a 0-1 versus a 0-0. You know, not taking nothing away from William, you know, because he's a star.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a star in the making. But it just made sense.
Yeah.
You know, it just made sense. You know, for his debut fight, and they're both young and hungry.
Yeah.
So
I like that you said that because I know Matt. You know, Matt John Grind is pretty much my home gym, and I try to drop by when I can. But Matt John has been training some guys low key, you know. Grind is known as a jiu-jitsu mainly, you know, gym. There's nothing wrong with that. But Matt John has had a striking class for over a year now, and he's building a little army. And Danny was one of those guys that I saw that was in there all the time and then would do jiu-jitsu after. So I hadn't been keeping up with the gym at all, like here and there. And then I saw his face on a poster and I was like, hey, man, you're getting ready to fight. He's like, yeah, man, coach thinks I'm ready. Let's go. So I love when there's young guys that are getting to fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys give them the opportunity. I always feel like it's a good starting point to get an idea. Like, hey, if you're going to fight somebody that has some training, at least, you know, you don't want it like too much of a pushover fight, or
exactly.
you know, and that's your job because you get to hear the input, and you know, then you line up, you know, William with Danny, and I feel like as a first starting match, that's gonna be a good one because Danny's gonna get in a chance to be like, oh shit, I'm in a fight, exactly. And Will's like, okay, I've been here before, but now what do I gotta do? You know what I mean? So it can go either way. So I like that, and that is that a catch weight? What are we at?
I think they're fighting at 150.
150?
I believe it was 150.
And we'll figure that out. But yeah, that's the first one to start it off. William Ortiz out of Desert Dynasty versus Danny Thomas out of Grind Jiu-Jitsu. Second match, we got Steven Swan versus Abraham Montana. Is that right? See, wasn't Swan supposed to fight one time and then it fell through? Yeah, so
happened.
Yeah, so
but he's ready now.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about a little bit about them. I don't know too much about them.
So I know both of them actually, man. Swan used to train over at Warriors Lair a while ago, and then he moved around the city a little bit. I think he moved because of his job. So he started like doing some independent training with like his cousins, his family, and all that. And then Abraham Montana, he's actually fighting out of Warriors Lair now, which was it just really happened a couple weeks ago. He was gonna do his camp with us at Warriors Lair. You know, he basically wanted to help and all that, but he just was showing up day in, day out, every single day, 2 a days and all that stuff. So me and the coaches sat down and made a decision. You know, we were like, you know what? We're gonna let you represent us, you know, because at first they were 2 independent fighters. Yeah. Like we listed it on KFL, 2 independent fighters, but he started putting in the work every single day, showing up, putting in the work. So we were like, you know what, man, we'll represent you. And then Steven Swan, man, I've seen him. He used to spar with us all the time. So he's like a maniac, you know. He's crazy, you know. And they're both super like unorthodox, man. They're wild. They're super like bouncy and spazzy and stuff. So we were like, you know what, this is a perfect fight. You two, like they're super hard to hit, and you know, I just see that fight going like, I don't know. I think someone's gonna get knocked out, or I'm not sure, but someone's gonna get slept. Yeah,
I like how you were saying that too, and kind of draw back to the representing. I like how you do that, and a lot of coaches do that, and some fighters might get upset. And I just want to touch on it, guys. To represent a gym when you're going once a week, it's, you know what I mean. It's, to them, it's like there's guys putting in time. So I like when you say that, because I've heard other coaches like, hey, I want to fight. Well, if you're not doing X, Y, Z, you're not going to represent our gym. Exactly. You're more than welcome to train here or whatever, but we're not going to be in your corner, bro. It's just like, so I love that you say that, and it's not a knock anybody, but it's a respect thing, guys. Like, these guys are putting time and effort, and people that want to be there. So if you're going to represent the gym and the culture, hey, man, you better be showing up. But the fact that you're a matchmaker and you know them, you're like, hey, that fight makes sense.
It's a perfectly fight, man. It's 50-50, man. Whoever can win that fight. Yeah, man. It's a great fight.
Yeah, man. So that's going to be Swan versus Montana.
At 135.
At 135 for the third fight.
I believe that was second fight.
Second fight, I'm sorry. Going into the third fight, my fight, Sonny Perez versus Luis Aparicio. And I spoke to Luis yesterday, and I didn't know he trains at Grind as well. You know what I mean? He has some prior experience, and that's a cool thing. I get to know these fighters, and he's like, oh, I've been training stand-up since I was 11, you know, and I've been training on and off, and now I wanted to fight, you know what I mean? And now we got him signed up against Sonny out of Bushido.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I saw Sonny fight at Southwest Bra, And but yeah, man, what do you think about this matchup?
Well, I'm excited for this fight, man. Sonny, he trains with some great people, man. You know, James Pleasant, Jack Nickel, all those guys. You know, which James Pleasant is possibly, in a lot of people's eyes, the best professional fighter in the city.
I would agree. I would agree.
And me as a professional fighter, I would also agree.
Yeah.
I think James is the man.
Yeah.
And Jack Nickel is a champ on KFL.
Yeah.
So Sonny, they go help Sonny, and Sonny's he's going to be well prepared for that fight. And then Luis, you know, I heard great things about him. Great striking, great jiu-jitsu, and he started at a young age, and he was over at Hans, so you know he has a good striking background over there from Hans' gym, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just made sense, man.
Yeah.
So they look super similar, same body style, same everything, man. It's gonna be a great fight.
Yeah,
man.
I liked it that and we've talked about this before. Like, yeah, it's an amateur fight, but a lot of these guys and girls, they already have X amount of experience. They've had smokers and stuff like that, and then now they get to showcase their skills in a legitimate fight league and a promotion, and you know what I mean, all good to go. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about Bushido much, you know what I mean? They used to be like the biggest gym before a lot of gyms coming out, and I like that they're starting to have more fighters coming out, and I love that Sonny's like representing them. And then Grind, going back to Matt John, man, you know, it's cool seeing that a jiu-jitsu gym is, you know, gradually starting to make some fighters. Do you feel like the gym like culture here in El Paso in this area is just starting to breed more guys that feel more confident getting a fight because they're like, hey man, I've been training XYZ, and then they get to see some looks, they see there's opportunity here. Do you feel like that's aided by you guys giving these guys an option to come fight?
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, there's a lot of talent in this city, you know, and a lot of great gyms, man. Like you said, Bushido, that was one of the most popular gyms, you know, back in the day, and they're still around.
Yeah.
They're still packed, you know, they're still a super successful gym, you know, and then Grind, you know, there's what Matt Brown did over there with that striking program, and like you said, it was only jiu-jitsu, and then Matt Brown came and let me make some MMA fighters, and he was also a good MMA fighter himself, you know, so there's a lot of platforms in the city, you know, with around here in the Southwest with CFC, you know, shout out to CFC, shout out to Empire, you know, shout out to Fight World. There's so many platforms, you know, for them to fight on. So everyone, it's time now. You know, it's everyone wants to do it now. You know, I think more people are coming out like, oh, well, this guy's fighting. Oh, I'm gonna do it too. Like, you know, some people might only do it one time just to get it off their bucket list, but at least they're doing it. You know?
I like that too because I know you got a couple guys that are gonna be fighting too for the first time, and a lot of gym have killers, and I think it gets to the point to where like before it was kind of like, well, I don't want to go to Albuquerque, I don't want to go over there to fight. But now we got 3 promotions in our area that are solid promotions to get some solid matchups to bring people in to fight or like fight guys within my skill range in this area is great. And I feel like that's a great opportunity for those guys to go out there and showcase. But yeah, Sonny versus Luis as a third matchup. And that's going to be what?
165 catch.
165 catch, right? Because those are big dudes.
Yeah.
Because Luis even told me that he was coming down from like 200 pounds when he started training and stuff. I was like, what the fuck? Some big-ass dudes. All right, moving up to the fourth one. Ooh, Mario Marquez versus Rover. Yeah, man, that's a good one.
Yeah, we're excited.
That's a good one. Rover is such a calm kid. I've loved I love seeing the evolution of him, and you guys are doing a great job over there with him. Talk about his evolution than just being the wrestler kid, crazy wrestler kid, now legitimate amateur fighter.
Yeah, so Rover's undefeated, you know, he's 2-0 right now, pretty much dominated both of his fights. He came over and he wanted us to help him with his striking because he has the wrestling. You know? He doesn't need no help with the wrestling, you know, collegiate wrestling and all that. So he needed help. He was like, hey, you know, I want you to be my head coach. I want you to really take my striking to the next level. And that's what we've been doing, you know. People think like, in this fight coming up that because Mario, man, shout out to Mario, man. That dude is just he's been a great friend and just been the easiest person to work with. Yeah. Like he will fight anybody.
Yeah, he's like,
it does not matter. Like, he's like, so, you hit Mario Marquez up and you're like, hey, I got this fight. He's like, yeah, run it, man. Yeah. Like, no questions asked. He doesn't need to go look on Tapology. Yeah. Most fighters, if you send them someone, they'll say, hey, man, send me the Tapology. Send me some YouTube videos. Yeah. Mario's like, yeah, man. I'm like, you want to fight Rover? You know, because Mario has, I think, 8 fights. You know, he has experience. He has great boxing, you know. And then I was like, you want to fight Rover? You know, and he was like, yeah, man, run it. Oh, cool. I was like, dang, all right.
That's a fighter's fighter, right?
Yeah, man. We love that, man.
Yeah.
It makes it so much easier for us. So Rover, we've been working on his striking because we know Mario has good boxing, you know, and we told Rover, like, hey, you know what, man, we're willing to stand and trade with Mario, you know, like I don't want people to think that Rover is just going to try to wrestle everybody.
Yeah.
His last fight, he proved he stood for 3 rounds and traded, you know.
He was making some videos of like little things he was doing. I was like, whoa, that was some high level shit.
Yep, and that kid that Rover just fought was a tough kid, you know, young kid. He's going to be a problem one day.
Carlo,
So, Carlo. And so, you know, this fight right here, it's your striker versus wrestler, but not so much wrestler. We're working on that striking, and he's ready, man. And then, like I said, Mario, man, KFL just appreciates everything Mario Marquez does, man. I mean, he was supposed to fight on the last one and chose to sit down and let someone else fill in just to make a championship fight. So shout out to Mario, and it's gonna be a war, man. Yeah, this could be fight of the night. It's gonna be a lot of oohs and ahs in the crowd.
And Mario's solid, man. A lot of I always get tripped out because I get to know everybody, and then I shake Mario's hand. His hands are freaking tough. Like it's like
I think he does construction, man.
Yeah, bro.
He's tough.
He has a big ass strong hand, and I was like, oh shit. But yeah, man, I'm excited for that. You know, for Rover to test himself versus somebody that's not a kid.
Yeah.
You know, a grown man.
Up and comer versus a guy that has a lot of experience.
Yes.
You know, almost triple the amount of fights, you know.
So that's going to be interesting. Mario versus Rover. Let the best man win for that one. Yep. Moving up from there, we got Swan versus Rivera. Are these two young guys, if I'm not mistaken, going at it here? Diego Rivera.
Yep.
And Swan. Is he related?
He's the nephew of Steven Swan.
Oh, that's dope. That's kind of cool, man. So let's talk about that fight a little bit. I haven't heard of Macau. Is that his name?
Yeah, I think it's Macao.
Macao? God, I'm terrible. My bad, Macao. My bad, dude.
I hope it's Macao. Sorry.
Yeah. Versus Diego. If I'm not mistaken, Diego's representing Warriors Lair.
Yeah, correct.
Quiet guy.
Real chill.
Chill. I see him striking all the time.
Yeah, striker.
Is this amateur debut for him?
Amateur MMA debut. So he's already had one Muay Thai fight. It didn't go his way. He put up a good fight though, man. It could have went either way. We thought he won, but we can't go out of town and leave those fights to the judges. Yeah. So Diego is from Warriors Lair. He's making his MMA debut. He's been in the gym day in, day out, working on his jiu-jitsu because the striking is there. We didn't have no problem with the striking at all. He's a great striker. He's one of our best strikers. And we just had to clean up some things, you know, for MMA. Yeah. And then Macao, he's with Steven Swan. They train hard. It's uncle and nephew, you know, so he's Steven Swan's pushing him hard. I actually seen the kid come to Warriors Lair. He would come spar sometimes. He's tough. Yeah. So it's going to be a striking war. I don't think no one's going to wrestle in that fight. It's going to be the fight for the crowd. Stand and bang. Yeah. I love seeing the young guys go at it too, man. I always get excited because just like you've been following, you know, MMA forever, but now that I've been following more of the Southwest and more the amateur scene, I get more excited to see more than a damn UFC fight. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a UFC fight that night, I'm like, I'm going to be at KFL. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is way more dope for me to see and be around than watching a pay-per-view at home or at the bar. But yeah, man, let the best man win. Swan versus Rivera for that one as a 5th fight. Then around that time, we got some jiu-jitsu matches. Yep. Let's talk about that, man. We got, what do we got? We had... we're going to have Dylan Matthews and Damian Medina. Yes! They're going to go up there first. So it's actually, I think it's going to happen after the 4th fight. But we'll see how it goes, you know. But they're friends, man. Yeah. And they're both my friends. They're both legit brown belts, heavyweights. Yeah. And they kind of just... They hit me up to make it happen, and I was like, well, sure, you know, it's friendly competition. Yeah. They're both, like I said, they're homies, man. They kind of matchmake themselves. Yeah. Like, hey, you know. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm all for it, man. Heavyweight, intermission. You know, they're gonna go out there and 5 minutes, submission only. If nobody wins by sub, of course it's a draw, you know. So yeah, they're just gonna go out there and have fun. It's cool just to showcase the jiu-jitsu thing. Is that something you want to start adding, maybe? Yeah, I want to do something different this KFL, and I want to do something I want to be the first to do it. You know? I want to be the first to do it. We were gonna do some Muay Thai fights, but things happened, so we were like, you know what? Let's throw a couple of jiu-jitsu matches out there, and I love Dylan's fought for me before, so anytime Dylan wants, you know, to get on in any way, I'm like, yeah, dude, of course, you know, like So shout out to Arturo and shout out to Three Crosses Jiu-Jitsu and shout out to Dylan and Damian, man. Both my homies, man. And I'm excited. I don't know who's better, so I'm kind of like,
well, they're both
who's better?
brown belts, right?
Yeah,
that's
legit,
dope.
you know,
And they're heavyweights? Like, oh,
yep. So I want to see who's going to win. And it's no gi, of course.
Yeah.
No gi.
Yeah, man. So that's one of the two. Then we got some young guys competing in the jiu-jitsu super fight. You know, talk about those two guys.
So Izzy from Train Certified, you know, led by Marcus, man. I've been following the kid for a few years now, you know, and I've seen him around. I've seen him at 100 Strikers, and man, he's a star, man. Yeah. He's a star. If you go on his Instagram and just look at his reels and videos, you're like, good Lord. Like, this kid right here, I believe Izzy's 15.
Yeah, not 18.
Yeah, he can tear up a lot of grown men out there, you know, in blue belts and purple belts and stuff. Yeah. So he's known, man. He's known out here, and he's one of the most popular jiu-jitsu kids out here in El Paso right now. And then he got a great coach and a great team in Train Certified. And then we were having a hard time getting him an opponent to go against. You know, no one, every time they ask who, and I said Izzy, everyone, nah, I'm good. And then this kid popped up, Bushido's coach hit me up, Hugo, and he was like, hey, I got a kid. You know, and I was like, against Izzy? You know, he was like, yeah, like, you know, we're down. Yeah. And I was like, who? And then he was like, Leo. And I haven't heard of Leo, but I did do a little research, and they say he is a problem. Yeah. You know, I guess he's more chill. Izzy, like, super flashy. Yeah. Not cocky or nothing.
Yeah, just the style.
His style is like that aggressive style, like, you know, that people love. Yeah. Like, and Leo's kind of just in the back chilling. Yeah. And he's like, nah, we want that. We want that against Izzy, you know, and so I went in and watched his page, a couple highlights on his page, and yeah, he's good too. Yeah, they're both good. So I'm excited for that one, man. Those two scrappy kids, man. And like I said, Izzy's not cocky or arrogant or nothing like that. Yeah. He has a super flashy style, and Leo's kind of reserved, real chill, doesn't post nothing on social media, you know, and. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna take that, but I'm gonna be watching. I'm coming from the locker rooms. I'm gonna watch that.
I like that you're showcasing that. Yeah. The fact that you get to showcase some jiu-jitsu, especially for the young guys, because we were kind of just chopping it up a little bit. I'm meeting more and more young guys that are really good at jiu-jitsu, and they're going to ADCC tournaments. They're not just doing Naga. You know what I mean? Man. They're doing more stuff, and I feel like that culture of the jiu-jitsu-ness, like it's being more popular because now it's kind of like you can have your style. Yeah, you know what I mean? Exactly. You can be flashy, and then there's opportunity for guys to get brands and make money doing jiu-jitsu stuff. So I can't hate on that either. Yep. But then there's the guys that don't do all that are in the back that'll just murder you just as much as like the flashy guy.
Quiet assassin. Yeah, that's what I call him, like the quiet assassin. Yeah. So Leo's from Bushido. You know that says it all, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he also.
I don't think I've ever met somebody that was terrible from Bushido when they were in a competition.
Yeah, they're gonna be ready, man. It's gonna be a wild little scrap, man.
Yeah, man. So that's cool that we got 2 jiu-jitsu matches. Yeah. Get back into the card. Okay. We're moving up there. We got Mr. Clinton and Manny. What do you think about this matchup, and how did it all get together?
So Clinton, I got to see him fight in Arizona before, and I got to see him fight in APFC. So we became pretty cool after he fought one of my guys. Just a super respectful kid, man. Real humble, but explosive, man. I mean, Clinton is a problem, man. His name's Kamikaze, Clinton Kamikaze. Oh man, he lives by that name. He's crazy, man. And when he goes out there, he hits some switch and he just tears the roof off the building. I mean, I seen him fight, I think, in New Mexico. I was eating my popcorn watching APFC. And Clinton walked out. They got in the cage, did the whole introduction. 10 seconds in, the fight was over. Clinton laid this guy out, and the guy was good. I mean, the guy he fought was good from a good team. Clinton put him to sleep, and then I see him doing backflips in the cage, just big old dude, you know, 6'3", 200-some pounds, just flipping in the cage like a 35er. And I was like, good Lord. So I rode him, man, and then he's like, I'm down to fight anybody, you know, just like that. Like, I'm down to fight anybody. So Manny, he's been writing me. And he wanted to get on the last KFL boxer, you know, heavy striker. He's not going to look to wrestle or do no jiu-jitsu. So it just made sense. We had a guy that wants to stand and trade versus another guy that wants to stand and trade. I was like, dude, this right here, I honestly think this is the fight that's gonna tear the roof off the place, you know? Yeah. Besides, of course, the coach.
I mean, all of them have the opportunity, and that's why you put them together, right?
Yeah. But this one right here just stands out to me. It's just like...
Catch weight at 190?
Yep. So actually what happened was, man, we moved that fight they both kind of agreed to not cut the weight, you know, and they're fighting at heavyweight now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna fight at heavyweight, and Clinton's a little bit lighter. He was like, I don't care, man.
Yeah.
Like, and then Manny was just like, whatever. Like, so they're gonna run it at a heavyweight. But the reason I say this one's gonna stand out more is because when the big boys hit in there, you know, you hear that, and that's what people are gonna hear. You know, not taking away from none of the other fights, but when these dudes start cracking in there, you're gonna hear it.
Everybody likes heavyweights. It is what it is. You know what I mean? One punch can change the tide of the whole fight. It could either end it or change it. And the fact that you were saying like, oh, we're gonna do it at 190. Now you guys are gonna be comfortable, not have to worry about weight cutting or whatever. You can just go in there and swing.
And shout out to Manny, man, because he had no problem stepping in to fight Clinton, man. Shout out to Manny. He was like, oh, I'm fighting him. Like, we're gonna stand and trade, you know, like. And a lot of people didn't want to fight that guy. So Manny stepped in, real quiet, real chill guy. And he was like, I'm ready.
Yeah. Like, and where's Manny fighting out of?
He's an independent fighter, man.
Okay.
He's an independent fighter. I know he said he used to train over at Zen and stuff a while ago, but he's always working. He's in school.
Yeah.
So he's just one of those guys. He hit me up. He's like, I just want to fight, man.
Yeah.
And he's been training, and we expect an all-out war in that fight, man.
I like that you give guys like that an opportunity, because a lot of promotions would probably overlook somebody like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm sure you get some reference checks from other people, and the fact that you've built relationships with other people, so you can call somebody and say, hey, so-and-so and so-and-so, oh yeah, solid, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Because not a lot of promotions are going to give somebody a shot that they're not part of the team, right?
Like legit coaches and stuff. But yeah, I mean, he has the boxing experience, so he's done it before. He's fought in front of a crowd, so I took his word. He got in all his paperwork, did everything on time, showed me everything was like he was with it. And then I was like, you know, like they don't understand, these amateurs, they have to pay to get their physicals, blood work, you know, eye exams. So that's why they're always looking for sponsors, you know. So when he went and did that and spent the money, I was like, oh, he's going to show up to the fight. You know, you're not going to just spend money on all this stuff and not show up. So shout out to both of those guys.
Hell yeah. Matchmakers love you guys. They just do your job. You know what I mean? Makes it easier. You guys take care of all the stuff, and you guys go take care of everything in the cage. But I let the best man win. And Clinton, where's Clinton fighting out of? He's from Arizona? Or?
Yeah, he's from Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, he trains with RJ Mendoza's head coach. He also trains with Roberto Venezuela from Fight Factory. Okay. But I believe Clinton is affiliated with another team for jiu-jitsu. But I know I think he's representing Fight Factory this fight.
Cool. You guys were going up there for
Apex.
For Apex. Okay, cool. That's
where we met him at.
And that's dope. That the fact that you guys, I love that when you guys go to gyms, and the fact that you guys are traveling more now, doing jiu-jitsu, the Muay Thai, obviously MMA, that you get to build those relationships. You know what I mean? Because people from that area, like, I don't want to fight here. I'd rather go fight somewhere else. It kind of works that way, right?
Apex always treated us right, man. Shout out to Apex Fight League, man, and we appreciate you guys too.
Hell yeah. I love that. Collaboration when it makes sense. Yep. But moving up from there now, we're getting tight up here, man. We got Stone Scott versus Gabriel Cejas. I'm excited for this one.
Oh yeah, this the one.
I'm excited for this one. The way they carry themselves, the way they're talking. I'm like, I was like, ooh. Like, they're both like confident in their own way, and they're not talking trash, but I'm just like, ooh, I'm excited about this. I got to see Gabe at Fight World for his debut. I was cage side to see that, and it was cool seeing somebody. The thing, and you get to see it because you've done it millions of times. You get to see somebody that says they want to do something, and they put in the time and effort, and they go out there and do it. Like, I got to, like, you were already like working with him, and the fact that he's like, I've been doing this, and that was the first time I talked to him at the gym, and he goes out there, wins, picks up another fight, wins again. I'm like, he was serious. Yeah. So I love when it comes to this, like, a lot of people say, hey, I want to fight, I want to do this, but don't do X, Y, Z, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the fact that Gabriel has been doing all that, and he's on a streak, and then taking on Scott Stone, he's like, hey, man, I want to fight that guy.
Wait. Stone Scott.
Stone Scott?
It's Stone Scott.
Is it really? So
I think I called him. It's Stone. His first name's Stone, last name Scott.
No way.
I'm almost 95% sure.
Because I kept flipping it. Hey, my bad. Hey,
Stone Scott, I got you.
SS, my bad, dog. But the way, when I was talking to him on the interview, and we were kind of chopping up before, he was like, yeah, I've been fighting, I've been doing this. And just like, I haven't had time to really focus. And the fact that he's coming to, you know, be like, this is what I've been doing. And Gabriel's like, I am fighting a formative enemy again, you know what I mean? The fact that he had 2 knockouts, and, you know, Scott Stone is going to come out and be like, no, I'm coming down there to fight and win. You know what I mean? So talk about this matchup.
So Gabe, he always wants to fight, man. Like I said, Gabe's only been training for 7 months.
Yeah.
But since the day he walked in the Warriors, he's never missed a day.
Yeah.
He's never missed a day, man. This kid is the first one in the gym, the last one out every single day. That's why it's possible, because usually when you go to a gym, I don't let people fight for 2-3 months. Sometimes a year, you know, It just depends. But he was one of those guys that was just naturally just super athletic. And he was like, Coach, I'm ready. Like, I'm going to show you. And I was like, at first I was like, nah. And then Fight World too, you know, they got a lot of killers in Albuquerque. I was like, I don't know about putting you on Fight World right away. Nah, like, let me show you. And I was like, all right, meet me in the gym 8 in the morning. Cool. Meet me in the mountains 6 in the morning. Cool. And I tested him, and he passed every single test. Every single test. So we put him on Fight World. He went out there and went against a tough guy, man. It was a good kid. He got caught.
Yeah.
Gabe caught the kick, dropped him, and finished the fight ferociously.
Yeah.
Hammer fist.
That shit was crazy.
It was
I got to record that. That shit was amazing.
It was bad.
That was crazy.
And then jumped into like my arms and, you know, like, I told you, Coach, you know.
Breaking
like,
your other arm and shit.
And he didn't. And then after the fight, you know, the next Monday, he was in the gym again. And I was like, what are you doing here? Like, take some time off and rest. He's like, nah, like, Coach, can I talk to you? And I'm like, what's up? You know, he's like, I'm still hungry. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, you just fought 2 days ago. He's like, it was too fast. I didn't get to do, like, I trained so hard just for that. Like, can I fight again? So, like, 2 weeks later, the team was already traveling to Arizona, made some calls. I was like, hey, I got another guy, you know, he wants to fight. And then shout out to Apex, man. They made it happen, got him a solid opponent, and went out there, and we took Gabe out there and did the same thing, put the guy to sleep. So we were like, oh, man, like, you know, dude, as a coach, I was like, it's going to be hard to get this guy's fights. You know, he's knocking people out. You go on Tapology and you see first round KO. And then next thing you know, I go on the KFL Instagram and I see a message from Scott Stone. Hey, I want to smoke with that guy.
Hell yeah.
After seeing the two knockouts.
He told me that too. I love hearing that. I love hearing that.
And he literally wrote me like the day after Gabe won and was like, I want to fight that guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, dude, like,
yeah,
you just seen what he did last night, and nah, that's what I want. You know, that's the kind of fight I want.
Yeah,
that's what I'm built for. If I want to become the best, I want to become the best in the world one day. I got to fight good guys.
Yes,
you know. And he was like, I want to fight him, and I'm like, cool, man, easy for me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't got to search. He's from one of the best gyms in the world.
Yes.
Jackson Wink.
I know. I was talking with some of the guys he trains with. I'm like, oh, you know this. Like, yeah. Yep. And I'm like, okay.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So he has his confidence because of where he trains and stuff like that too, regardless of what Gabe can do or has done. You know what I mean? So the fact that you're like, all right, like this makes sense.
He's surrounded by some of the best in the world, man.
Yeah.
So he trains with super high level guys. He also trains with our co-main event, you know, also. So he's going to be a problem, man.
Yeah.
I mean, for someone just to be like, man, I'm down to fight that guy after seeing that opponent get knock out 2 people back to back. Yeah. So it just shows that he's not scared. Yeah. And he's ready. And he said he's a striker and he's willing. He's going to stand and trade with Gabe, and someone's going down. Yeah.
I love that and respectfully he messaged you and says, I want to fight. It's not like, hey, fuck this guy or
super
whatever.
Nice guy.
Yeah, just like, hey, man, like he's knocking people out. Like, hey, man, and this is why I tell fighters, guys, when you guys call out fights, make sure they make sense. Yeah. Because if Scott Stone or Stone Scott, my bad, dog, we'll figure this out. If he goes out there and stomps Gabe, that crushes that momentum. Yep. And he's in the mix away for people looking him out.
Gabe has a lot of people watching him right now, and he's a popular guy in the city. Like he has a lot of people coming in from out of town, everything. So Stone Scott, he wants to take that shine. Yeah. Man. And I talked to him on the phone the other day for about 20 minutes. Shout out to Stone Scott, man. Super nice, super respectful. Had all his paperwork in on time, way before anything for a first timer to do that. You know, usually they struggle with the paperwork. Man, he signed contracts and signed everything over. Shout out to Stone Scott, man. It's gonna be a great fight, man. Yeah, man. 170ers. Yeah. Welterweights.
Yeah, and I love that too because they're and then Gabe too is like, yeah, man, that guy wants to fight me. Like, yeah, man, like, and Gabe too is like, all right, I'm gonna fight somebody that has some good experience too. Like, am I gonna go past the first minute?
He wants to challenge himself.
Am I gonna get some adversity? I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah,
you know,
Gabe even told me, he was like, Coach, I knocked out 2 people in the first round. I don't want people to think like I'm fighting scrubs. And stuff. He was like, I want to fight. He wants to become a champ. You know, at 170 for KFL, and then he also trains with Calvin Collins. You know, he's one of, if not the best 170 or 50 cal, one of the best, if not the best welterweight amateur in the city. So they're partners, sparring partners, training partners. So and then Scott Stone, like I said, he just has all those PFL, Bellator, UFC guys to train with. Like, man, I'm excited.
Yeah, because he was kind of talking about, like, when you're around professionals, I mean, you just up the way you carry yourself and things like that. I mean, I'm sure he's putting in the time and the effort too as well. But being surrounded around those kind of people, you're not a slouch, right?
Exactly.
Just like how you guys are at the Warriors, like there's not slouches there because you guys are all beating the crap out of each other. You know what I mean? To get better. So
it's gonna be a war.
Yeah, the fact that he's like, hey man, let me fight this guy from a known gym with some good experience and 3-0, then he might be in the mix for a title shot. You know what I mean?
Man.
So I love hearing that, man. And you know, shout out to Stone Scott for wanting to fight, and Gabe's like, yeah, I'll welcome you. Come on down, man. So that goes at 170. Moving up from there, we got Max Fuentes, debut 0-0 versus Zoe. Crazy Zoe. Last minute replacement. How hard was it to find somebody? Or was Zoe in the top of your head?
Zoe was one of the guys.
It's either Zoe or the Peaks. You know what I mean? Those guys will fight anybody.
Ezra Peak and stuff, Peak and those guys. Zoe was, he's the man. Like, right away when the fight fell off, you know, we had some issues happen, and I try to do everything I can to save Max's fight, man, because I know he worked so hard. I mean, he was selling shirts with KFL on it. I was like, I cannot let this guy down. And right away, I went on the KFL page, scrolled down, and I seen a picture of Crazy Zoe. And I was like, man, I don't even have to ask Zoe if he wants to fight, because he's going to say yeah. But I have to make sure he's off of work. You know, because these are amateur fighters. They have to work, you know. They're not getting paid only on, you know, ticket sales and stuff. So I knew his answer would be yes. And so exactly what happened, I was like, hey, I got a guy named Max Fuentes. He's like, what's the date? Cut me off. Or like, you know, cut me off. Like, I'm like, January 24th. This was like 4 days ago. Like, this happened like on this week's notice. And he was like, I'm in. Let me call you back. I'm going to talk to my manager. I'm going to switch shifts, this, that, and I'm going to make it work. So I'm like, I'm nervous. I'm like, man, my hands are sweating. I'm like, I need Zoe to come through. So I'm texting him. You know, he's not responding right away. Then he texts me. He's like, it's on. My manager let me switch. He doesn't ask much. Him and Ezra Peak, you know, they don't really ask many questions. He just says, you know, I trust you. Give me a fair fight. I know Max trains with Empire. He also trains with Bushido, so he has all the killers to work with. He has, you know, Camacho over there, Mikey Tovar. You know, he has all those guys over there to work with. And Zoe he likes, like, you know, to fight in the backyard, just fight down and dirty, street beefs type, Kimbo Slice type stuff. So 2 scrappers, man. They say Max wants to stand and bang, and then I was like, well, it's perfect because that's what Zoe does. Zoe is never... Muay Thai
guy, stand up,
Zoe's not going to wrestle. He's not going to shoot no double leg or nothing. He's going to look to stand, punch, and kick, and it just made perfect sense. Zoe stepped up and saved the card, so big shout out to Zoe Rubio. Crazy Zoe, man, that's my guy right there. And Max, man, he's been fun to work with, man. He's always posted. Us as KFL, we appreciate when they shout us out, give us tags us and, you know, mentions us and stuff, man. It gives us more exposure too. And Max has been doing that. He's been putting in the work, you know, counting down the days, tagging KFL. So shout out to Max. I'm excited to meet you for the first time, man. And may the best man win.
Yeah, I love that too, because Zoe was supposed to fight in the last one, but it fell through, and I knew he got that itch. So when you called him, he was like, fuck it.
All this stuff was already ready.
Yes.
You know, so.
Yeah, dude, I love that. And then, you know, shout out to Zoe for taking on a young guy too. You know, for taking on a young guy. But you can't sleep on Zoe.
Yeah, man, he hits hard, he kicks hard.
I've seen him fight a handful of times, and he's never not trying to finish.
He's going to be that's going to be a dog fight right there, man. Like I said, man, best of luck to both of them, man. Thank you, Zoe, for stepping in and saving this fight for Max.
Yeah, because Max said he said I want to just fight anybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Max
Because he could have said no,
too.
like too, because he could have been like, oh no, that fool has experience or whatever. Like,
exactly.
It's my first fight, you know. Yep. So
Max even made a post the other day, and he said, thank you to my opponent for stepping in and fighting. So shout out to Max and shout out to Zoe.
Hell yeah, man. Co-main.
Yes, sir.
Coming up, Miles Sanders versus Gabo.
Yeah.
For the bantamweight title, man. I kind of looked up a little bit on Miles a little bit, and obviously I know Gabo. How did this fight come into play, man?
So Gabo, he actually made his amateur debut with us with KFL at 17 years old, and now he's fighting at 19 years old for the championship. So it's a great little story right there. Nobody in El Paso wants to fight Pineda. Nobody. Mm-hmm. You can't get no, and then he doesn't really want to fight no one around here. We're trying to do the whole 915 United, 915 strong, fight out of towners. Miles Sanders, actually, he's in North Carolina right now, but he does train out of Jackson Wink. These two have been in the gym in the same room before, But it's no love lost, man. I was trying to find him an opponent. I made a couple posts, and here comes Miles. Hey, I'll fight him.
Yeah.
And when nobody really wanted to, and he was like, I'm 3-0, undefeated. No one's ever beat him. I'm not sure if he finished everybody, but I just know he's undefeated. And I was like, you know what? This is a perfect title fight right now, Unfortunately, there was supposed to be another 135-pound championship going on, but some things happened, so we lost that. Shout out to Adon. He was like, hey, why don't you put my little brother Gabo up for there? And their records are both perfect. So we were like, you know what? You don't mind? Like, he's like, nah, I'll focus on my pro debut. Let Pineda fight for the belt. That's my little brother. I want to see him win. So he blessed me off on that, and I was like, you know what? It makes sense. That's perfect records.
And that's gentleman stuff that happens in the back. And like I and you, we get to hear that and see that. And I like to tell people sometimes, like, hey, like how what's his name? Let him fight the last KFL. Mario stepped. He could have said like, "Fuck you, I've been training." I'm fighting. That's some gentleman stuff in the back because they're done like, "Oh man, I lost that title shot. Screw this or whatever." He was like, "Get my teammate in there."
Yep, that's
because
exactly
Gabo totally makes sense. That kid is solid. He is like, I get to see a lot of these guys train, and you said it since I was 17, and I've been watching this guy for the past year and a half. I'm like, whoa, these guys are. It's cool seeing the people evolve because you're a coach and you've been around the game for a while. But for me, now that I'm more around the gyms and seeing people evolve, I'm like, oh shit, this is cool. And for Miles to be like, let me go down there, you know what I mean? Take this fight on. Get this belt. But Gabo's like, hey man, I'll take this fight on too, man. I'm excited to because those. Even though their records are low, these guys are high caliber fighters for sure, right?
Yeah, I think Gabo's 4-2, and then Miles is 3-0. So it just made sense. Like I said, Don was supposed to fight a kid from France. The kid from France unfortunately had to pull out and due to injury. He messed his nose up pretty bad. And then we were still working because Adon was the co-main event. We were working. I was going to find Adon someone, and then Adon was just like, hey man, I don't want to stress you out.
Shout out to Don.
Let me just, I'll step off the card. And I was like, nah, Don, I got you. I'm going to find you someone. He's like, nah, it's okay. Let Gabo step up. And he was like, what do you think about that? I was like, that makes perfect sense, man. Because, we already had the belts made and everything. And it just made sense. So shout out to Gabo and shout out to Miles, for stepping up to fight for the belt from going 3 rounds to now a 5-round fight. You got to be, it's a big difference. It's a big difference from going 3 rounds to 5 rounds. And both of them were like, they were super happy when I called. It was like, you guys are the co-main event for the belt. They were like, what? What happened? I was like, you guys are co-main event. Yeah. So Miles trains from Jackson Wink, and he's over there with Scott Stone. And so you know how he's coming?
Yeah, man.
Gabo is one of the better strikers, if not one of the top 5 strikers in the city.
Yeah, for his weight class and stuff and amateur, I totally agree.
Kid is real nice. He's working on his English too. I talked to him the other day. He was talking in English, and I was like,
yes, he does, man. I talk to him all the time.
Yeah, when he was 17, he made his KFL debut. He didn't speak no English to me. I didn't know what he was saying. And then the other day, we met up with the tacos, our sponsor, Tacos El Mura, and he was talking English. I was like, what happened to you, dude? I was like, you go, bro. So
that's dope. I had told him, I was like, you need to work on that, bro. You need to work on that because you're going to be a superstar, bro. But yeah, man, shout out to both of Miles coming down from Albuquerque, Jackson Wings, Gabo representing Bloodline and Empire. Excited for those two guys to go at it. Ending the night, when this fight got announced, I was like, Son of a biscuit. How did Lamar and freaking Lonnie pull this one off? We got Steven coming down from Arizona, taking on Devin Pippin. Devin made his debut for KFL. You know, it's so cool. Now he's fighting for a title. You said the story kind of with Gobble. And Steven coming down. You know, how did this fight come into play?
So Devin, man, he's becoming a star out here. You know, double champ. You know, shout out to Devin. He was a real quiet kid at first, like when he made his debut at KFL. You know, he didn't really have a fan base. He didn't really have a lot of people that supported him. He was just one of those, a wrestler that just wanted to go out there and fight, you know.
And he fought Yuri as the first
Yuri's tough, man. You know, for him to step in, I knew one day Devin was going to be a problem for just even stepping in to fight Yuri, because Yuri's a little tank. So he started coming around. I mean, he lost his first fight and then just went on like a kill streak, man. And now he's a two promotional champ, looking to get his third belt. Great record, great kid, super humble.
Yeah.
Super nice, super respectful, man. Shout out to Devin, man. Everything I asked for him, you know, if I hit him up like, hey, I need you to meet me here, to meet these sponsors and do this.
Yeah.
He's there, man.
Yeah.
He's there. He doesn't ask no questions. Just let me know what time and place. Yeah. And then Owens, I didn't really know much about Owens, but I knew his teammates.
Yeah.
So when I was searching for a fight for Devin, a lot of people didn't want to fight him. I was like, you know what? Let me talk to John Calderon and Yanni and some of those guys from J Pages. And then that's when Owens popped up. He's the champion right now. I believe at 55 for CFC.
Correct.
So I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can put these two together. And then Stefan, without hesitation, Steven or Stefan, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
But he didn't hesitate at all. He was like, his exact words was like, I know people are, you know, trying to give me like the hardest fights, and that's what I want.
Yeah.
He was like, I know Devin Pippin is like the man in the city, and I'm gonna come take that. Because after this fight, I'm going pro.
Yeah.
So I want to challenge myself for my last fight, and I want to take out the best. He was like, anytime someone calls me, it's usually to fight the best person.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't have no problem with it. He was like, you know, no disrespect to Devin, but I'm taking that belt back to Arizona, and I'm gonna. The fans are gonna be mad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's gonna be. He has a lot of experience.
He does.
A lot of experience.
He fought at CFC against Nico De La Salle, you know what I mean? And they went 5 rounds.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean? That guy is tough.
Yep.
Both of them are tough. And then he won that fight, and I was like, oh, shit, you know what I mean? And he was kind of like talking about, you know, moving to pro. But this fight, like, it's interesting, kind of like, hey, that guy's got a lot going on, and he's from there. Like, imagine if I just take that belt, too, and then that springboards him for his pro debut, because that helps a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You're on a win streak. You took out 2 top prospects. You got 2 belts from 2 different promotions. Super enticing. That totally makes sense why you would say yes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Ask for a little bit more money, you know, when you make your pro debut. Hey, I'm a 2-time amateur champ, you know. So we're excited for that, man. CFC champion, and then Devin 2-time champion, you know, Empire champion, and Lone Star.
Yeah, Texas, Lone Star Fight League, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry, but it's gonna be a good fight, man, because they both have championship experience. Yeah, they've been in 5-round wars and stuff, and they've been to all-out wars where you have to just dig deep. I think this fight's gonna go the distance, and it's gonna be super close. Yeah, maybe a split decision. You know,
you think so?
I think so, man. They're both super talented, and they're. Yeah, man, it's good.
I just like right. I don't like, and nothing against both of them. I just don't see, in my opinion, I don't pick fights. A lot of people ask me, who do you think? I don't pick fights. So don't ever ask me, guys. I'm gonna tell you the same answer. But I don't see any one of them finishing each other.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it just kind of like one might get their ass kicked the whole time, but won't get finished, or vice versa. It's gonna go back and forth.
No one's gonna give up.
Nobody's gonna give up for sure.
They're gonna want it so bad, man. And then so that fight was supposed to be at featherweight. We agreed, made some changes. Now they're gonna fight for the lightweight title.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They both don't need a cut. They're just kind of like, man, whoever's better is better, you know. Yeah. I think Devin is a champ at featherweight and lightweight, so he didn't care. And so yeah, it's at lightweight now.
Yeah. But and Stevens, I think he's fought in multiple weight classes too, and he's well rounded, man. He's like. It's cool to see, you know, guys that I get to see from the very start do well, like Devin, like started at KFL, made some rounds of other promotions, looping back around, you know what I mean? Great record. Now we got a champ from another promotion as well coming in, and KFL gets to host, you know, this fight. I was excited for you guys to put on that fight. I was like, hell yeah, that, because a lot of people pay attention, because a lot of fighters, when they start, there's a lot of amateur promotions, guys. It's nothing personal. If you have great relationships, you're able to jump around. And the fact that you were able to pull those two guys to fight each other is so dope, man.
Yeah, I'm happy, man. Shout out to Devin for, you know, being the main event. Shout out to Stephen Esparza Owens for coming all the way down from Arizona. He's coming with his baby girl. He's a great dad, man.
Yeah,
man. Let me give a big shout out to both of those guys. I watch their stories all the time. Those dudes are such great dads. Besides fighters, man, Devin is with his son all the time.
He takes them everywhere.
Every fight I see his son in the crowd cheering.
Yep.
And the same thing with Stephen. He's posting his baby girl all the time.
Yep.
So big shout out to all the great dads out there, man.
Yeah.
That's what we love.
Yeah, I love seeing that too, because fighting is fighting, but when you get to know people outside of the fighting thing, you can respect them even more based on what they got going on. And you know, being a father, and you can relate to being a good father, and I can relate. So you see those qualities in other men. You know, it's dope to see that. And shout out to all the good dads out there that are fighters and punching other people in the face.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that wraps up the card, man. I'm excited. 10 fights, 2 super fights. Almeida, 24th is going down.
Yep.
Get your tickets from the fighters. They have the hard copies online. Pick their last name. It helps them out, right, guys?
Yep. Put their last name in all capitals. Spell it correctly so they can get credit.
Yeah.
Yep. So it'll be January 24th, this coming Saturday. Maida Shriners, 6331 Alabama Street. First fight starts at 7. Doors open at 6.
Nice. Shout out to some of the sponsors.
Yeah, big shout out Tacos El Moro, Silverback Fitness, my boy Joe, man. He's been a blessing, man. Those 2 sponsors really came through, and it wouldn't have been possible without those guys. Shout out to owner Lonnie Morales, man. That's my guy right there. Also was my first coach. We're still rocking after all these years, you know. And big shout out to Lonnie, man. And yeah, unfortunately he couldn't be here, you know, but he'll be there this weekend.
We all have stuff going on, but I'm glad that you guys are keeping the fights going. I know I get excited every time you guys, you know, post up the fights, and I'll be there cage side hanging out. I always get the best seat in the house, and I appreciate you guys. And I say it all the time. I'm sure he's tired of hearing it, but
no, I'm not.
How much I respect you guys and giving me the opportunity to do stuff like this, because you guys were the first promotion they were so open to say yes. Not that other promotions wouldn't have said yes to me, but at that time, in my time period of like trying to figure stuff out, you guys were like, yes, come on down. Yes, do this. I'll get the fighters lined up to do interviews. So I appreciate your time, bro. Because I feel like these kind of things like this makes it more fun, because you guys are starting to build a good following as a promotion. You guys sold like the VIP tables right up front. People don't even know who was on the card. you know what I mean?
They go fast, man. There's one more left.
Yeah.
You want a deal? Hit me up.
Yeah.
One more left.
Yeah, this is going to be posted 2 days. So we're having this conversation. It'll be edited and cut 2 days. So make sure you guys hit up KFL on Instagram for that. And I'm excited for you guys. I'm happy for you guys that you guys are going. Shout out to all the fighters doing their thing. You know what I mean? Let the best man win when it goes in there. All love. Any last words, brother?
Nah, man. Just, hey, when you see Jimmy Dukes, make sure you get his autograph, man. This is the man. He's a big part of our success, too. He helps us so much. And with all the interviews, with everything he does, man, big part of it. And I'm glad that, you know, we were the first people to get you on, you know, get you out there, and now you just took off, and we're happy to see it, man. And,
man.
You need any promotional guys, fighters, if you want private videos, whatever you may need, this is the guy to talk to.
Thank you, man.
Shoot him a DM. Great quality work. When we go out of town, we use Jimmy Dukes, and he sends us the best reels, and they get a lot of views. Guys, remember, social media is a lot right now, especially in the amateurs. You need to post your reels, and Jimmy Dukes can do all that stuff for you. So if you need all the private videos, for photographer, anything, holla at Jimmy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you said that before we get out of here. Guys, I tell you guys all the time, and you mentioned earlier, part of the fight game is promoting yourself and the fight. The promotion's job is not to promote and do everything for you. If you do all that stuff, it's a win-win. So you guys take pictures, do the countdown, do all those things, tag the promotion. It's gonna help everybody. Everybody wins in their own way. You know what I mean? Yep. So doing all that, it matters, and I appreciate the shout out, man. But yeah, man, KFL5, January 24th. going down at the Shrine Almeida. Get your tickets. Tickets at the door, same price or a little bit more, right?
Tickets at the door are going to go up about $10. So get your tickets now. Ahead. You can go on the Kingdom Fight League Instagram, click the link in the bio, get your tickets, or holla at the fighters.
Yeah, man. Let's go, man. We'll be out there cage side. But until next time, we'll see you guys at the fights. Peace.
Peace.
Good shit out.
Hell yeah.